Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the PowerPoint Queen Workshop for February. Tonight we're going to be talking about new ways that you can use PowerPoint to express your passion for Valentine's Day. I'm going to share some new techniques with you, and then we'll talk about different ways that you can repurpose what you create in PowerPoint. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm looking forward to showing you some new stuff. So I have some quotes here that are related to Valentine's, and so I'm going to show you how to import those into PowerPoint. You don't have to use quotes. I just like using them because they're easy and people seem to enjoy them. So in order to import these, I need to close the Word document. And then I'm going to create a new PowerPoint file. And then I'm going to change the view and go to the slide sorter view, even though I don't really have any slides to sort. And then I just want to put my cursor next to the only slide that's there. That's where I want to import the rest of the slides now, to have them come after that first slide. Then I go back to the Home tab and use this New Slide button, but I'm not going to click right on the button. I'm going to click on the bottom to actually open up the menu and go all the way down here where it says Slides from Outline. And then I'm going to find the document that I want to import, which is this one, and see how it spreads them out across the different slides. The other thing that I usually do before I go back to the normal view is I highlight everything that just got imported, and I change my layout to title only. And then we can just double click on one of these to open it up and start looking at how we might want to modify. Usually you're going to need to expand this a little bit. You might want to change the font size. Sometimes what I'll do is put the author's name in a smaller font. I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but you can do whatever you'd like to sort of rearrange things and make them look a little bit more aesthetic. So there are a number of choices that you have for how you want to do the pictures. Usually when I'm creating something like this, I go and search for pictures on some of my favorite free photo sites, which are, if I'm using it for something to share on social media where it's free, then I often will search on the Microsoft Office site. They have a lot of good photos there, but they're for non-commercial use only, which is exactly what I would be doing then if I'm sharing them for free. Another good site that I like a lot is everystockphoto.com, and they have a good search function that actually searches against a lot of other free photo sites. But I think what I'm going to do for this particular one, so I'm just going to go to Insert, Picture. All right. The question is, did I label it? Yes, okay. Now, here's, teach you a little bit about how I work with photos normally. If I'm trying to fill the slide with the photo, which, you know, for a presentation I might not. I might want the photo just in the bottom part, in which case on this one I probably want to trim off some of the bottom and top so it won't be quite so tall. But for this kind of thing where it's really making more of an artistic effect, then I probably would expand it to fill the whole screen. And there are a couple of ways you can do that. This one doesn't have too much to stretch, so we can try just stretching it a little bit and see how that looks. That actually doesn't look too bad with the hands. A lot of photos you can't really do that with because it's going to distort them. But in this case, it doesn't really affect the hands too much. So that would be the easiest way to do it. But let me show you a couple of other options because, like I said, a lot of times that won't work because you'll distort the photo. Usually if I'm going to expand something, I use the corner so that I'm stretching it in both directions at the same time. And since the corner is already against the side of the slide here, another way that you could do this would be to crop. Use this little symbol right up here. That's going to appear, by the way, anytime that I have clicked on an image. As soon as I click on it, then that crop image appears here. I'm using version 2007, by the way, so if you're on 2010 or 2003, it's going to look a little different, but the function is still the same. So what I'm going to do is crop some off of the side here, and that way I can drag the corner up and expand it. And I didn't take off quite enough. That way it's going to fill the whole slide without distorting the photo. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Once you have that crop symbol turned on, you need to get it turned off by clicking somewhere other than on the picture. And then that brings your regular cursor back. Now you probably noticed that we lost our text box and it's behind the picture. So what I'm going to do is just right-click on the picture and send it to the back. That brings our text up to the front, but obviously we're going to have to change the color on it as well. So I'm just going to click here to highlight the whole text box. Come up here and choose white font. And then I think what I'll do, because we have the hands right in the middle here, I think I'll take this out and put it in a separate box at the bottom. And then the other thing I'm going to do probably is make that a slightly smaller font. I'm going to left justify it and move my text box up a little here and over to the side so that we miss the hands as much as possible. We could also do this to force some of those words down. There, it's not overlapping the hands quite as much that way. And then I want to put my text box down at the bottom here with Mother Teresa. And again, we want to change that to white and larger. There. So, you could maybe find a better photo than that even, but it was one that I knew I had handy.